When people imagine the peak of evolution, they usually imagine some terrifying super animal, like a shark with eagle vision, gorilla strength, octopus intelligence, crocodile armor, and maybe just enough hate in its heart to ruin everyone's day. But here's the problem: evolution does not care what looks cool. Evolution does not care what wins a fight. Evolution does not even care what looks advanced. Evolution only cares about one thing: can you survive long enough to make more of yourself? That's it. So the real question is not what animal is the strongest. The real question is, what is the best survival design nature has ever created? And the answer is way weirder than you think. Part 1, the obvious answer: predators look like peak evolution. At first, predators feel like the final boss of evolution. A shark looks like it was designed by someone who hates swimmers. It has teeth that keep replacing themselves, a body built like a torpedo, insane smell, and the emotional warmth of a kitchen knife. A crocodile is basically a living bear trap with armor. It can sit still for hours, explode out of the water, crush bones, and then go back to doing absolutely nothing, like it didn't just commit a war crime. An eagle has ridiculous vision, flight, claws, and the confidence of an animal that knows gravity is optional. So, yeah, if evolution was a fighting game, predators look like top tier characters. But there's a catch: predators are powerful, but power is expensive. Big teeth need food, big muscles need energy, big bodies need territory. If the environment changes, the strongest animal can suddenly become the most expensive animal to keep alive. That's why strongest does not always mean best. Sometimes the best design is not the animal that wins a fight. Sometimes it's the animal that doesn't need to fight at all. Part 2, the tank build: crocodiles and sharks. Now, if we're talking about animals that feel unfairly successful, crocodiles and sharks have to be near the top. They are ancient, they are simple, they work. Crocodiles don't need to become motivational speakers. They don't need a new software update. They just sit in water looking like a floating log until something makes a terrible life decision. Sharks are similar. They have been around in some form for a very long time because the basic shark idea is just good: swim, smell, bite, repeat. That sounds stupid, but in evolution, stupid and reliable can beat fancy and fragile. This is important because evolution does not always reward complexity. Sometimes the peak is not becoming more complicated. Sometimes the peak is finding a design so effective that you barely need to change. A crocodile is not advanced like a human, but if the goal is to survive as a species for millions of years, crocodiles are sitting there like, bro, I literally completed the assignment. Part 3, the intelligence build: octopus. Then you have the octopus. The octopus feels like nature accidentally installed alien software into a bag of meat. It can squeeze through tiny spaces. It can change color and texture. It can solve problems. It can use its arms almost like independent mini brains. And it has this creepy energy where you look at it and think, you know more than you're saying. The octopus is one of the strongest arguments that evolution can create intelligence in a totally different way. Not human intelligence, not mammal intelligence, something stranger, but even the octopus has problems. Most octopuses don't live very long. They don't build long lasting civilizations, and they don't pass down knowledge the way humans do. So the octopus might be one of nature's coolest designs, but maybe not the peak. It's like nature made a genius creature, then gave it a short trial subscription. Amazing animal. Questionable long term plan. Part 4, the teamwork build: ants. Then there are ants, and ants are terrifying because one ant is basically nothing. You can defeat one ant with one finger and a tiny amount of disrespect. But an ant colony? That's different. A colony acts like one giant creature made of thousands or millions of tiny bodies. Some gather food, some protect the nest, some build tunnels, some farm fungus, some literally fight wars. This is where evolution gets weird. Because maybe the peak is not one perfect animal. Maybe the peak is a system. Ants are not impressive because one ant is amazing. Ants are impressive because together they become almost impossible to fully stop. They don't need one giant brain, the colony is the brain, and that might be one of evolution's most broken strategies. Don't build one strong body, build a million weak bodies that act like one monster. Part 5: The Human Build Cheating with Tools. Now, humans are weird because physically we are not that impressive. No claws, no armor, bad teeth, weak babies, terrible natural weapons. We get back pain from sleeping wrong. A horse is born and starts walking around like it pays rent. A human baby is born and spends months looking like it just got installed. So, if you judged animals only by body design, humans would look like a mistake. But humans have one insane ability: we cheat. We don't evolve claws, we make knives. We don't evolve fur, we make clothes. We don't evolve wings, we build planes. We don't evolve night vision, we invent flashlights. Humans are not the peak because our bodies are perfect. Humans are powerful because our brains let us escape the normal rules. Most animals evolve to fit their environment. Humans change the environment to fit us. That is completely unfair. It's like showing up to a boxing match and bringing construction equipment. But even humans are not the final answer because intelligence also comes with problems: stress, war, overthinking, pollution, weapons, social media. A brain powerful enough to build civilization is also powerful enough to create problems no other animal was dumb enough to invent. So humans might be the most powerful animal, but most powerful still might not mean peak. Part 6: The Real Final Boss: Bacteria. Now, here's the annoying truth: if the peak of evolution means survival, adaptability, and numbers, then the real winner might not be a lion, or an eagle, or an octopus, or even humans. It might be bacteria. Bacteria are everywhere: in the soil, in the ocean, in the air, inside your body, on your skin, in places where most animals would instantly die. They don't look cool, they don't have dramatic movie trailers. Nobody is making a thumbnail with a bacteria wearing a crown, even though maybe we should, but bacteria are unbelievably successful. They reproduce fast, they adapt fast, they survive in insane environments, and when the world changes, they can change with it. That is the part people forget. Evolution does not reward the animal that looks the most impressive, it rewards the thing that keeps going. And bacteria have been going for a very, very long time. They are not glamorous, they are not scary in the cool predator way. They are scary because they make the whole animal kingdom look like a temporary side quest. Part 7. So, what is the peak? So, what is the peak of evolution? The answer is there isn't one. Because evolution is not a ladder. It's not fish, then reptile, then monkey, then human, then glowing space god. Evolution is more like a giant, messy game where the rules keep changing. In one environment, the shark is perfect. In another, the ant colony is perfect. In another, the crocodile is perfect. In another, humans are completely broken. And in almost every environment, bacteria are sitting there like, good luck, idiots. So maybe the peak of evolution is not one animal. Maybe the peak is adaptability, the ability to survive when the rules change. Because the most dangerous thing in nature is not being weak. It's being too perfectly built for a world that doesn't exist anymore. That is why dinosaurs disappeared, but birds survived. That is why giant predators can vanish, but tiny creatures keep going. That is why humans are powerful, but still fragile. Evolution does not crown a permanent king, it just keeps asking one question: can you survive the next change? And right now, every living thing on Earth is still trying to answer. Final section: but if we had to build the peak animal, but okay, let's say we ignore all of that. Let's say nature gets tired of balance and decides, fine, I'm building one overpowered animal. No humans allowed, no tools, no fire, no Wi Fi, just biology. What would we actually give it? First, it needs intelligence, but not human intelligence. Like, human intelligence is powerful, but it comes with taxes, anxiety, war, comment sections, and people arguing with refrigerators online. So instead, give it something closer to dolphin level intelligence. Smart enough to communicate, smart enough to learn, smart enough to cooperate, smart enough to understand other animals, but not so smart that it invents nuclear weapons and ruins the whole server. Then give it the senses: eagle level vision so it can see tiny movement from far away, shark level smell so it can detect prey or danger before anything else notices, maybe even electric sensing like some fish and sharks, so hiding in water becomes almost impossible. Now give it the body: not too huge because giant animals need too much food, not too tiny because tiny animals get turned into snacks. The perfect build is probably medium to large, big enough to scare things, small enough to survive when food gets bad, give it crocodile patience, the ability to wait, save energy, and not panic. Give it cat like reflexes, fast reactions, silent movement, explosive speed when needed. Give it octopus style flexibility, not literally a full octopus body, because living on land as a wet spaghetti bag is a bad business model. But give it flexible arms or tentacle like limbs that can grab, twist, open, hold, and manipulate things. That's important because claws are good for killing, hands are good for changing the game. Then give it armor, not full turtle shell armor because then it becomes slow, but crocodile like skin, tough enough to take damage, flexible enough to move. Give it a bite that matters, not just sharp teeth, crushing power, the kind of mouth that makes other animals reconsider their life choices, but it also needs to eat almost anything. This is where a lot of perfect predators fail. A lion is scary, but if prey disappears, now the king is starving. The peak animal can't be picky. It should be an omnivore: meat, fish, eggs, plants, fruit, insects, carrion, and whatever the world throws at it, because the best animal is not the one that eats the coolest food. It's the one that doesn't die when the menu changes. Then give it social structure, not ant level hive mind, not human level drama, something more like wolves, dolphins, or orcas, small groups, cooperation, teaching, hunting together, protecting young, learning from older members that makes it dangerous without needing civilization. And finally, give it adaptability, the ability to live near water and on land, because water gives food, escape routes, cooling, and protection. Land gives space, nesting, and more hunting options. So the peak animal probably isn't purely land or purely ocean. It's something in between a coastal monster, part predator, part problem solver, part survivor. Imagine an animal with dolphin level intelligence, eagle vision, shark senses, crocodile armor, cat reflexes, octopus like grabbing limbs, a crushing bite, and the ability to eat almost anything. That would be disgusting. That would be unfair. That would be the kind of animal other animals make cave paintings about. But even then, it still wouldn't be the permanent peak. Because if the climate changed badly enough, or food disappeared, or disease hit it just right, even this biological final boss could lose. That's the real joke of evolution. You can build the most overpowered animal possible, and nature can still patch the game tomorrow.